Mr. Deputy Chairman, sir, I stand to support this important bill. We rather not wait indefinitely for an ideal bill. On a personal note, I have been thinking of this for the last few weeks since this bill came up here. I have a 20-year-old daughter. God forbid if on 26th of December 2012 it was her, how would I or the so-called responsible, educated and law-abiding citizen have reacted? Would I have made use of the criminal justice system in our country, or would I have hired the best lawyers to see that the person who perpetrated the crime got the biggest punishment? Or, sir, would I have bought a gun and shot the person? I say this with all responsibility. I don't know, sir, but my mind is inclined. I would have probably taken out a gun and shot the person. So, this is a very emotional issue. When the parents of Nirbhaya and so many people get emotional, we can't even think what was going on in her minds. And I don't even want to think about it. As I said before, we come to the rationale, there is this emotion involved, and I cannot myself give any guarantee. What would I have done? I would have probably taken out a gun and shot him. Sir, law is not to be made for an individual, and please let us not mix up child rights with women rights as we debate this law. Sir, this bill has taken a while. It is a complex bill. I think the leader of the opposition was fair enough when he said that there are very different dimensions to this bill, and I will go with him. Within our own party also, there was a lot of discussion. There are various dimensions to this bill. Sir, law for reform or law for penalty is a big issue today. If you look closely at this bill, you could take a view that this is law for penalty if you go to 16, 18, but there are many provisions in this bill which are law for reform. The 16 principles, as you call it, madam, or the fundamental purpose of this act is reform is first and penalty is the last resort. If you read this bill, this is a very important part. I want to highlight some of the positives of this bill. On Juvenile Justice Board, there are a lot of details on this bill. The provisions have been defined. We are supposed to have one juvenile justice board for every district. Orissa and Madhya Pradesh have 100% juvenile justice boards. There are two states which have more than 100%, both in the east, Bihar and Bengal. I am not saying you just set it up, but I think all of us need to put good people into those juvenile justice boards and make them run well. Sir, several new offences against children have been included in this bill. We welcome it. Militant groups, ragging disabled children, corporal punishment, are all very, very positive parts of this bill. Child welfare committees meeting every 20 days per month. You have been very specific. That is very good. Then there is inspection of institutions and children's home. My colleague from Samajwadi Party correctly said you have to make sure that this is implemented, otherwise it will be of waste. Sir, CADA has now become a statutory body. We welcome that. You made the adoption process very transparent. But, Madam Minister, why did you have to go and take a fight on October the 8th with the poor missionaries of charity? You gave a set of rules. They did not like your rules. They are an independent organization. They stopped their adoption centers. Let us leave it at that. Let us respect the work they do. There were unnecessary statements that you want a uniform secular agenda, that they were converting people without offering for conversions. These are all very serious accusations against people who are doing good work. It is a good clause, but please don't bring in the missionaries of charity. They have opted out, and being from Kolkata, we are a little more sensitive about these issues. Madam, 2 3 speakers before this have also raised it. But again, on the 19th of December 2015, either the media misquoted you, but this is the quote I have. I would blame the Rajya Sabha for not passing the law. Had they passed the bill, he would not have gone scot free. Now, sir, there are couple of issues, and I will be falling in my duty if I did not bring these up. Sir, juvenile justice has to be set on the foundation of rehabilitation and reform. Now, the number here, sir, for repeat offenders in India is 5%. The number for repeat offenders, let us say in the US, is 20%. Sir, I know a lot of child right activists, and they have a point. They are saying in countries like Brazil, in countries like Peru, 18 is the limit. So here I think where we are with this bill, it is not blank 1618. There is no blanket approval. That is why the role of the juvenile justice system is very, very important. We listened to the child activists who talked about brain mapping. Do we have enough information about brain mapping, and do we keep these children next to these hardened criminals? I think the bigger job is to make sure that those juvenile homes, etc., are run very well. Sir, think about who these people are who are committing these juvenile crimes, and this is a number which goes beyond the statistics. The families of 70% of these poor children earn less than 305 rupees a month. 52% of these children are either illiterate or studied up to primary level. Sir, we need to work very, very hard. If our children are becoming criminals, sir, you and I are responsible.